welcome back to my channel. My name's Catherine and I'm going to paint today a loose, wet in wet, hopefully alla prima painting. I've loosely drawn out a rock, another rock. I've got a fairly high horizon, got some foreground going on here, and I'm not going to wet the paper too much. And here we go. So I've got some Cobalt Blue light red, dipping into a bit of cerulean blue, want this area to be a little lighter. Just bleed some of that colour down. Sort of fairly careful around that's my horizon. Okay, get a slightly juicier wash for the rock. Might get a bit of burnt umber in there as well. He's going to bleed out a bit, we'll come back to that in a minute. Got another rock going on here. See that burnt umber into the Cobalt Blue mix has made a gorgeous grey. Wow, we've got some fireworks going on there, haven't we? Slightly damp brush, pull it off. Not a problem, because we'll come back to that when it's dried off. Put some more rocks in here. Bit of raw sienna. Changing the mixture between raw sienna and burnt umber. Grey over here, directional lines for the beach. Want some grasses here, so I'll just paint that in, we'll come back to that. Just want the colour, the sort of local colour down. Darker here. Okay, so that's my first wash. I will now dry this and we'll come back. Okay, this is all dry now, so I'm going to go in to put the water in, and I want to be a little bit careful in some of these areas. So I'm going for a cerulean and burnt umber because it gives it a slight greeny. So I'm not quite sure how dark I want this yet, so I'm just gonna go in fairly carefully here. Just to be a little bit careful around these. Pick up a bit more. Each time I pick up, I might put a little bit more of the cerulean or a little bit more of the burnt umber, so that it's changing the mixture all the time, just ever so slightly. So that's my horizon there. I think I want a soft horizon on this side, and a soft horizon on that side. This is my harder horizon. Okay, so now I'm going to get my Holbein Hake. By now you know I love it. And that's because it can do a line and it can do a wash. So I do want to get a little bit of dry brushing going. I want to leave some of these lights. So I'm just very carefully going round, very careful. Bring it a little bit bluer in here. I want some of these dancing white dry brush marks. And this is a pool, and I might just put a bit of Cobalt light. We'll see. No, yeah, that's fine. That's nice. That Cobalt light is lovely against that raw sienna. So we'll leave that. And now I'm going to put a bit more definition in here. So if I come back to my quite dark Cobalt Blue and burnt sienna. Don't have enough cobalt in it. And you can wipe some of the, no, not enough cobalt in it. Wipe some of the water off the brush. I've got to be, this is not the best brush to use, but that's okay. Now I'm going to leave that there. Just pull that out a bit. I'm going to use the same wash. I'm going to come round and draw in some of the edges of these rocks. Bit of interest. A bit more light and shade through here. And quite a bit of rock formation here. You can be fairly abstract in this. Just pull the rocks round. Maybe give it a slightly warmer feel closer to you. Just in the tops of those. Maybe a bit of warmth there, but not in the background. Now if you wanted, you could soften a few of those edges. Not sure it's really necessary, but we will. Just because they're in the distance, and we'll keep some of these harder edges here. Okay, just bringing a little bit of this blue-grey through the foreground. Maybe round the edge of here. Don't like that, looks like a comma. Might blot it out. Just on the edge. Not everything you do ever always works 100% of the time. So what we'll do is we'll just add a little bit more sheen there. There we are. Quite like that. That was Cobalt Turquoise. Alright. That's looking nice. It's looking lively. We've got some, we know they're rocks because we know they're rocks. And now I'm just going to dry this off, come back and put some splatter on. Okay, that's all dry. I'm going to lay this here get a brush with some sort of raw sienna, burnt umbery. Push it into a bit of a grey. See how that looks. Not too bad. Okay, so just to tidy up a little bit, I'm going to actually be bold. Always be bold. That might look excessive, but when it dries, it will be a little. I just wanted to make that colour. Okay, so having done that, I now need to just darken this a little bit. I want to keep that piece of light there. Don't want to forget this side of the painting too much. I love those dark pools that you look into at the beach. Okay, I'm going to put some rocks here just to... And you can be fairly abstract with these. Just dots and dashes, a few marks, a little bit of darker value. So that you've got your lights and darks sort of dancing. Blend it a little bit. Right, the only thing I think I might do is get my gouache and put a little bit of gouache along there. Just feel it needs it. A little bit of sparkle. Maybe out that side as well. But I just wanted it here and maybe just a touch there. Sometimes you just have to be really light with what you do. Not sure about that second one. That's better. Soften him off a bit. Okay, I think that's done. I'll dry it thoroughly, take the tape off, and we'll have a look at it. And here's the finished picture, which I really like. I've got that lovely cobalt turquoise here. I've got some lovely lights bouncing around. I've got some splatter, I've got some marks. And I've got a soft sky, so I've got that feeling of going back into the distance. I left this horizon fairly sharp. I bled those out a little bit. That's sort of out of focus, so really our focus is coming up here, around there, and is landing here, and then coming round again. So all in all, I'm really pleased. Thank you very much. See you next time.